Hey, Jesse here from Jesse Lee Woodworking, and today I thought I might show you a little bit about how I set up my first cut for milling up some of the logs around my property. Now, I've gone through a lot of different setups, and maybe surprisingly or not, over the last year or so, there's quite a few different setups, ranging from really expensive to really cheap. But I always try to find myself somewhere in the middle, because for something like this, I need something that's stable and straight. That's really it. So I actually chose to just buy this cheap little setup that came straight off the boat from China. However, it is super versatile and it goes up to 9 feet long. So it's made out of aluminum rails. It has screws that actually help to balance it out. It also has metal stakes that actually allow you to hit it into the top of the wood, which actually keeps everything stable. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You can do this with wood. Typically, most people even just use a ladder. But honestly, you really need something that you can kind of make depending on the length of the log that you're trying to do. And this one comes in really neat, like 2.5 foot sections. So I can go out as far as 9 feet and as short as maybe 3 or 4 feet. So I have this one set up. I have 4 sections in here, and basically you can see this is a really heavy log. This thing is about 8 feet wide, or 8 feet long, and about 17 or so inches around. I just cut this down a couple of months ago. It probably weighs well over 900 pounds. So it's really not something I can move around. So I really got to get this thing cut up. So basically what I did was I lay this thing down, and you can basically see the end over here is slightly larger than the end over here, and also it has this dip. So generally what I do is I put that far end as flat as I can against the log. I measure the width of each end of the log. This one's off by about 1.5 inches, so this side's about 16 inches and this one's about 17.5. So I know that I need to be up at least 1.5 inches on here to get generally a square cut across the log, where most of the grain will kind of be in the same direction, won't be off, and then every subsequent piece after that will generally give me the most center cut piece across the entire 8 foot length. So now that I got that set up, the other thing I generally do right before I do this is I go across my chainsaw with a file and just make sure it's super sharp. Even though these X-Cut chains here from Husqvarna stay really sharp, even when you're cutting through red oak like this, it does tend to gum up the blade a little bit. So it's best to just give it a good once over to make sure everything's sharp and ready to go. And then I adjust the Alaska mill to basically give me enough distance so I cut underneath the dogs that I have in here, and then that'll get me from one end of the piece to the other. So I thought I might show you a quick outcome from doing this for the first cut. So here we go. Flip that over. And now you can see, I mean, this is really a really nice cut on that first pass. So now I'll go ahead and just use my Alaska mill to start taking off maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches at a time. Because then once I have the thickness, remember again, once I dry this out and get this down to 10 to 15% moisture, it's definitely going to shrink a little bit on both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this, and then I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like once I have it all milled up. And then I'll sticker it and put it up in my barn. And if you've seen any of my other videos, I have probably 7 or 8 of these logs laying around. I have one that's pretty long. I just measured it, it's about 18 feet, so I'm gonna have to cut that in half. But boy, this is gonna make some really, really nice wood at the end of the day, as long as I take my time. Red oak with a 28-inch bar on 17-inch width. That still basically is a real good rip through there. You know, you go through a lot of gas, a lot of oil. So, you know, I guess if you're going to do this yourself, you can really start to appreciate when you finally actually make something out of the material that you cut and milled and dried on your own, how much work you put into it, and why sometimes, you know, some of those pieces actually go for a lot of money. It's because we put a lot of work into this. So I got now on the ground here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces that will now go upstairs into the barn, where I have all the rest of my material that I've been cutting up for the last couple of years. It'll be stickered and then labeled, and then I'll measure it for moisture. So I'll go ahead and show you where that is and how it looks when it's all done. All right, so what we're looking at here is we got some red oak, all stickered and ready for drawing, followed by some really nice pieces of that red oak that were the lower half of that tree that I cut down. And you can see this is just from the chainsaw, but these are nearly 18 inches wide and 2 inches thick, so that'll make for some nice tabletops or some type of furniture. Then we have here some really nice long 9-foot pieces by probably about 11 or 12 inches and 2 inches thick, so these are pretty nice as well. And then sitting over here on the bottom, I actually have some black oak, which is why this bark here, it looks so different. But once I actually cut it open, it had that hard but really nice grain from the oak. So it's actually black oak. And then this on top is actually elm. And I have about 4 or 5 planks here, and these are anywhere from like 4 to 10 inches wide and 1.5 inches thick. So these all will sit here in my barn for the next year or so, drying out. And then once they get down to about 12 or 14% moisture, then I'll be ready to use those in my next project.